started. So welcome to Open in Indiana Networking on Zoom. We are here to learn about each other's business and find out how we can be better advocates for each other's brand. So before we have a great speaker lined up today, I'm looking forward to hearing what Lori has to say in her presentation. But before we get to her presentation, let's go around and introduce ourselves, the business that we represent, what a good prospect for you looks like, and the answer to today's icebreaker question, which is, what technology innovation do you like the least and why? So let's mix it up and go from the bottom right corner back. So Brittany, we'll start with you this morning.
Hey, Ryan, could I interrupt, please, before we begin? Sorry, I guess I already have. Robert was going to try to get on this call, this Zoom call from the Sterling. So just make sure if you see him trying to come in, it should say the Sterling Event Center, that you allow him in, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Sorry, Brittany.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. My name's Brittany. I am up here in the Fort Wayne area. My company is Gen Elevate. We focus on employee engagement. A lot of times the pain point that brings us in is a turnover challenge. I work with small to mid-sized businesses. The technology that most drives me nuts, I would have said pop-up ads, but I think the guy that invented them apologized like over and over. So currently the most annoying thing to me is those ads that, like, as you're scrolling the page, they scroll with you for half a second. And then it's like, if you get stuck in the wrong spot, it's hard to scroll past them without hitting them and then getting taken out of your page. So I would love it if those would die.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. Next up, we have Kristen.
Good morning, Kristen with Firestorm Restoration. We are a full service restoration company serving residential and commercial. We offer free estimates. We offer free quotes for folks that would like us to come out just to take a look at the job and see if we could be of service to them. We do roofs, everything down to the basement or crawl space. So whether you have a hailstorm has come through, or you've got standing water in your basement, or your bathroom needs to be remodeled after we come in and, take care of the water or whatever has made the disaster, we certainly would like to come out and be of service. We also clean up trauma and meth, and we also carpet clean. So a good prospect for me would be an insurance adjuster. Not a public adjuster, but an insurance adjuster. If anybody has a warm welcome or introduction, I would be greatly appreciated for that. And I'm going to have to agree with Brittany. It is like when I'm on Facebook and you're scrolling and you see all those ads, and 9 times out of 10, half the time I hit it and have to listen to it because that little X is so small that they're annoying. They're very bothersome. Kristen with Firestorm, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen. Next up, we have Jennifer.
Hi, good morning. I am Jennifer Lovell-Bunbaum. I'm with the Alzheimer's Association of Greater Indiana, and I'm manager of The Longest Day. And some of you are like, oh my gosh, isn't every Monday like the longest day ever? But The Longest Day is one of our signature campaigns, because we are a nonprofit association in which we strive to provide care and support as well as research, but everything that we provide is free. So although I would love to say that I do this on a volunteer basis, we have to pay for the utility bills, et cetera. So we rely heavily on donations, and also our 2 signature fundraisers. One of them is the Walk to End Alzheimer's, which many of you are probably familiar with because it seems like we're always walking for something. But the event that I'm responsible for is called The Longest Day. It's a do-it-yourself type of campaign in which, if the walk isn't for you, because you have to be at a specific place at a specific time on a specific day, we encourage you to take what it is that you enjoy doing and you turn it into a fundraiser. So whether it's hiking, biking, photography, it could be simple as hosting a backyard barbecue, but it's centered around The Longest Day, which this year just happens to be June 20th. It's the summer solstice. It's the day with the most light. Is a day we fight to end Alzheimer's. So even though it is centered around The Longest Day, it doesn't have to take place on The Longest Day. I have people fundraising right now. I have a little guy who's getting ready to have a lemonade stand coming up on June 13th. So it's something that's available for all people. So the type of referral that I am looking for, and you don't even have to personally be affected by Alzheimer's, just wanting to give back to the community in some way. But anyone who is willing to host an activity and fundraise for the Alzheimer's Association of Greater Indiana. Thank you. And again, my name is Jennifer.
And Jennifer, what technology innovation do you like the least?
Although cell phones are great, I feel like you can never, ever get away. Cell phone's always with me. I don't even wear a watch anymore because I rely so heavily on looking at my phone to see what time it is. But I think back to those days, I was like, how in the world did our parents raise us children? Because they couldn't track us on their phones and they couldn't call us to ask where we were doing, what we were doing. That kind of thing. So although I have a love-hate relationship with my cell phone, I'm going to put that up there on the top, Ryan.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Next up, we have Kim.
Oh, I don't have to unmute myself. I'm unmuted. Hi, I'm Kim Holt with Culligan Water here in Johnson County. What we do is we help people get softer, smoother hair and skin and fluffier laundry and extend the life of their water-driven appliances. And we do that by way of a water softener in their home or office. If you know anyone that needs help with their water being so hard, 85% of the homes in Indiana are hard, have hard water coming into them, just please let me know. Oops, let me silent my phone. A couple of things. So how many of you used to get Money Mailer and now get Local Trend magazine? Local Trend, it's a little booklet that comes to your home. So it used to be Money Mailer, and now John Fisher, who owns that, does ads in this little magazine. And Culligan just came out with this really cool ad. It says, do you know what's in your water? Culligan knows and has the solution. There's all kinds of coupons for a free water analysis, drinking water system for $10 a month for 3 months, a $99 installation, an inspect and check for $34.95, or up to $200 off a whole house system, which consists of a water softener and a drinking water system. So if you're interested in that, I'll put my information down in the chat. You can give me a call. Even if you're outside Johnson County, I can still help. I know people up in the Marion County office that cover all the other counties that surround Johnson County. The question. So I think Brittany and Kristen both kind of touched on it about the pop-up ads on Facebook and so on and so forth. I just want to give you guys a caution. When some of those ads come up on Facebook, you want to research those companies before you order from them. Take it from somebody who knows. A lot of that stuff's from China. It takes a long time to get here, and it's crap. I mean, literally crap. I threw it in the trash when I ordered it. And then I got scammed. My credit card, I had to shut it off. So just be real careful about that. The answer to the question, though, I think is going to be the technology of robocalls. Do I need insurance? Do I need extended warranty? Stuff like that. So it's definitely robocalls for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next up, we have Jeanette.
Good morning, everyone. Jeanette with Peterson Accounting Services, specializing in individual income tax returns. And I am still specializing in that. We have another 4 weeks to go now. So the season was supposed to have ended Thursday. I'm still looking for people who need to get their taxes done. If you've gotten a letter from the IRS, I got a new email from them this morning. Do not ignore the letter. Respond to it. Call somebody. If you have somebody prepare your taxes, call them, ask them to assist with it. If you don't have anybody, call me. I will help you through it. So the technology, we've loved the technology for the last year. Got to meet the great grandbaby when she was just a few hours old. Got to watch our granddaughter get married in Maryland. but I'm getting really tired of Zoom. I would like to be in person again with all of my groups. My Tuesday group has met, tomorrow will be 4 weeks in a row that we've met in person. So I'm ready to be back in person. I love the interaction with others. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeanette. Next, we have Chaster.
Hi, my name is Chester Johnson. I'm the founder of StockTeamUp.com. It's a social media platform to help people learn to invest. Our little innovation is we actually trend by performance first. And we are doing that very literally now. We had a lot of changes over the weekend, so everyone check it out. We specialize on helping underserved communities. So the majority of our users are from the African American community. And I'm looking for financial leaders and financial professionals that would like to help these communities learn more about investing and tap into this this underutilized market that financial professionals really don't get into. In terms of technology, coincidentally, I didn't do this intentionally. Coincidentally, I don't like social media. I do not like it. I don't use it. I only use it coincidentally for my social media platform to showcase it. But I am usually not on. I don't like to really post. If I want to talk to you, I'll call you or meet you in person. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Chester. Next up, we have Lori.
Good morning. I'm Lori Cardwell Photography. I am a portrait photographer, and I just love helping other people and businesses create photos that connect with their ideal clients. So who do you know that would or that is maybe launching a new business or rebranding their existing business to give a fresh and updated look? Because no matter what industry people are in, no one should use a poor quality photo on their website or social media. It means no selfies, no like cropping yourself out of a group photo. If you see anybody with those, I would love an introduction. Photos, should really reflect a business's reputation and their confidence. So I'm looking for people that are looking to put their best foot forward on their website and social media. And if you know of any entrepreneurs or small and medium-sized businesses, I would love an introduction. LoriCardwell.com. Oh, and then the technology. I have a love-hate with the TV. It's just, it's nice sometimes, but I think that it can become a time waster for a lot of people and you get kind of stuck in front of it. So I would have to say a TV.
Awesome. Thank you, Lori. Next, we have Bill.
Bill Hammond with Primerica Advisors, your full service financial coach. And, this April is Earth Month, and Earth Day is coming up on the 22nd. One of the things I'm focusing on is reaching out to those investors that would like to kind of investigate, look at ESG investing. You hear about it in the circle of investors and only in a few other folks. It's becoming a bigger and bigger piece of individuals' portfolios as well as 401ks for companies. So if it's something you think you would be interested in, this is a great month to kind of look at it, honor Mother Earth by taking a look at ESG investing. It's a great way to be socially responsible, as well as adding value to your personal portfolio. A lot of people are getting interested in it. That's kind of like while I'm promoting it for the month of April. We'll switch to something else in May. God, here comes one of the things that I hate: pop-up ads on computers. I'm like Brittany. If we could find some way to make ad blockers work without me having to go out and buy, say, some sort of weapon that will do away with all these marketing people that come up with these brilliant electronic ideas, or at least take them to an old French guillotine and get rid of them. But some way, somehow, we've got to get rid of these pop-up ads that come in every so often. I don't care what it is, but I have not found a good ad blocker that will chew those things up and throw them away. So that's the big one. I kind of join with that. That's the one technology I wish that had never been found, and whoever had thought of it with these marketing ads that pop up on your computer or on your Facebook, whatever, we need to do away with them. I can live with some of the other stuff, even though, sometimes I think about dropping my cell phone in a deep hole, but that's the one thing that irritates me just so much is all these ads that pop up, not only on your computer, but as you're walking through some places or walking downtown, all of a sudden your phone starts buzzing with all these ads and you can't block them. So I want an ad blocker, and I want something that's going to work. And I don't care if it even has to be that. Get me on a jury to convict those people and put them in an electric chair. That would be great. So that's my great irritation is electronic ads. Got you going, didn't I, Chester?
Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ryan Henry, Idea Guy for Open in Indiana. We help entrepreneurs connect and learn the skills necessary to build a successful local brand. So I'm looking to connect with anyone who is trying to turn their passion into a profitable business. I can help you increase your online visibility and help you get some ideas to market to your ideal audience that does not have to include ads. So just to put that out there. The technology innovation that I really don't like is making things smart just for the sake of making them smart. For example, automobiles. You used to be able to replace a belt or whatever other part it needed, and then the car would start up again. Now your check engine light comes on, you have 650 possible sensors that it might be, and in addition to the problem it's indicating, it could just be that the sensor is malfunctioning and that there isn't actually a problem. So I'm just not a big fan of making things smart just for the sake of having a nice touch screen embedded into it. So let's see, at this time, I'd like to introduce our speaker today, Lori Cardwell, who is going to share with us some tips to look our best on camera. So Lori, you have the floor and you have the ability to share your screen if you'll need to.
Great, thank you. And let me see if I can bring it up here. There we go. Sorry, just 1 second, bear with me. All right, there we go. So I am Lori Cardwell with Lori Cardwell Photography. I'm super excited to talk with you guys today. So I am a portrait photographer based out of McCordsville, Indiana. And my mission is for everyone of all ages and sizes to realize their true beauty and to have photographs that they look and feel amazing in. Because I have witnessed this firsthand, that having great images can boost your self-confidence and be a transformational experience. So I love being able to provide that to my clients. And I'd like to start off with my why and give you a little bit of background about me and how I ended up on this path in photography. So in kindergarten, we were given the opportunity to put little pictures into a time capsule. I decided in kindergarten, which I didn't even remember this, that I wanted to be an artist. Obviously, drawing is not my strong suit, as you can see there. But I think from an early age, I just always had this passion to create art. So years later, my grandmother had passed away, and it was actually, this is a grandmother on my father's side, and then less than a year later, the grandmother on my mother's side that also passed. So during that time, I really started digging through all the photos of our past and trying to connect with them, and through the images, because they were no longer there. And that's when I started really taking photography more seriously. It was always a passion of mine and always an interest, but I decided to kind of focus on that more and start creating those images for other people. And then last year, my father passed away, and unfortunately, don't have great photos of him because it was just something that I thought I'd have time. And, you always think you're going to have more time than what you do. And that was something that I realized I need to take photos of my mom. So now I have great photos of my mom. I did this session as a surprise for her because she doesn't typically want to be in front of the camera. She doesn't do her hair, doesn't do her makeup. Her weight she's very self-conscious about that. But I want every person to be in front of the camera and to have those images. So I created this experience for her, and this is what I aim to do for everyone, is to have those images. Everyone should have images because self-love is what gives us the capacity to love others. So creating those images and being in front of the camera does more than just capture an image just of yourself. And they last a lifetime, and they become more valuable over time. So it's really been a passion of mine to get more people in front of the camera, even if you're uncomfortable. So that's why I wanted to share, some tips with you a little bit later. But I'll show a few images. I do portraits for families, for wall art. This is a great image that they did for wall art for individuals for their business. Other business professionals, for moms that maybe need to take some time out for themselves or don't have a photo with their child. Maternity sessions just for women that want to feel glamorous and have those beautiful images to pass down to their family. I love doing. This was a great story. This client, she told me that she was terrified of being in front of the camera. When we did her consultation, she was shaking, and she walked away from the session with so many images that she said that she loves, and that is what I want to do. Like, now she has images for her business that she can use on her website and everything, and she came back within 2 months and did a family portrait session, so that I was able to help her remove that fear from being in front of the camera, because I truly care about each person that is in front of me, and I like to think that they're friends after they leave the session. So this is just a great example. I would like to acknowledge that posing for a photo is awkward. It's awkward for everybody. It really is. And I try to make it as comfortable as possible for everyone. And posing is really not easy. It takes practice and it takes studying. So that's why I'd like to give you a few tips now. First, I always suggest to start off on studying yourself. Find photos that you find flattering of yourself, and even more importantly, ones that you don't. That is important to still know what doesn't work for you and what does. Every person is different. And I've had a lot of people say, well, I'm not a model. Well, the models still had to practice. They didn't inherently know what works good for them or what not, what doesn't. So they're always doing tiny angles to shift your body and look better in your pose. So it's always very important to start off, do you like straight on to this side, left side, right side? And that is actually brings me to my next point of which side of your face appears better in photos. I have a person stand in front of me and I have them do different angles so we can see what works. But scientists believe that people in general favor the left side of their face over the right because the left side shows more emotional expression. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it's more attractive. It just means that there's a good chance you think it's more expressive and attractive. And this is one that during my sessions, I am always saying chin forward and down, because we don't want the squished chin that we have multiple skin areas that you don't want shown. I always tell people chin forward, like there's a string being pulled on your chin, and put it down, because then it gives you that nice, as you can see here, right there, that nice angle. It feels weird. It feels like you're a turtle or something, but it works. And I always say to be careful that you only move your chin and not your whole body. You don't want to lean completely forward. It's just with your chin. So that's a very easy tip that people can use always to make sure that you're looking your best in photos. Another one is, I know some people are worried about blinking. Like, oh, I always blink in photos, so they want to do this wide-eyed pose. Don't do that because then you just kind of look a little crazy. So you want to make sure that you're smiling with your eyes, but you bring your lower lid up and you kind of squint. It's like a squint, but not a complete squint because you don't want to look sleepy. So you want to make sure you're smiling with your eyes. And then it makes you look cool and confident. And it really brings out warmth and kindness in your photo so that people look at you and they're like, like I like that person. I want to talk to them. Oh, here we go. And then another tip I give is put your tongue behind your teeth when you're smiling. It helps to prevent you from over smiling. Some people want to overdo it. They're like, teeth, and that's too much. You want to put your tongue behind your teeth, but make sure your tongue isn't sticking out between your teeth also. And that'll give you a nice natural smile. Also, this is kind of a no-brainer, but stand up straight. A lot of people get comfortable and they start slouching, but you don't want to do that. You want to stand up straight, put your shoulders back and also down. Make sure you don't have the hunchback shoulders and put them down. And then you also want to move your bottom out a little bit, and that will give your waist a more defined look. I know that for guys you might not want to necessarily do that, but it does work because you want to angle and stand up straight and you want to have good posture. Also, sitting up straight. I know some people like to kind of sit back in their chair and get all comfy and just kind of be slouching a little bit. You don't want to sit too far back. As you can see in this photo over here, she's sitting very far back on the stool. You don't want to do that because it just creates an unflattering pose on your legs. It puts too much weight on your legs. So on this one, she's scooted seat. And then also, you can't see, but her toes are kind of angling her legs up so that it takes the weight off of your thighs on the chair and it creates the angle. You also want to move your arm away from your body and make sure that you're not facing straight on towards the camera, because if you cross your legs and you're facing straight on, it kind of cuts your body in half. So you make sure you move your legs to the side, and then that creates a nice visual. Lean in. This is a very important one, I feel, for women especially. Women, you don't want to sit back. When you lean back, you think that you're looking confident and strong, which is awesome, a great pose. But if you want to have slimmer hips, you want to lean forward into the camera, because anything that's close to the camera will appear bigger. So you don't necessarily want that all the time. You'll have a small head and then a wider hip area. To avoid that, you want to lean in towards the camera so that kind of tapers your waist. And let's see what else. Separate your arms from the body. As you can see on this don't photo, she's got her arms glued to her sides. That doesn't create a flattering shape. You can't really, it kind of looks, like the shirt's kind of blobby. What you want to do is turn to a 45-degree angle and create separation from your arm and your body. And gives that nice triangle right here. And then also this progresses into suggestion of the slim arm. Moving to the side, just having the angle is perfect. This goes from like bad, good to best. So yeah, moving to the side, she already looks better than straight on, but creating that separation with the arm, it gives you the skinny arm, because you can see right here, you just, anything that's pressed against your body is going to feel bigger because there's that pressure. So you want to make sure you move that away. and it also helps to cinch the waist. Let's see. Also work the angles. You can see here straight on. It's not very flattering, but here when she has all her weight on the back foot, one foot in front of the other, and kind of angles that in, and the arm on her hip, it gives her a more flattering S shape. With women, we always want to create that S shape. With men, you may want to do the straight on power pose because that gives a, but men typically want to appear broader. So you want to do that straight on power, that straight on pose. For women, we want to angle, always angle. So just to give a little bit about my process is I start off with the consultation. We go through how they're going to use the images so that we can figure out what kind of poses will work, what kind of style will work. In the session, I can have a hair and makeup artist come in before the session, which is an amazing experience for most people. They don't have to worry about getting ready and doing that themselves ahead of time. It takes a lot of stress out of it. And then after the session, we review the raw images and then we deliver the edited images. So great referrals for me would be pretty much everyone. I mean, who doesn't need a great photo, right? Professionals, CEOs, marketing managers, HR managers, business coaches. The possibilities are really endless with photography and with portraits. So things to look out for are if people mention an anniversary or a birthday, pregnancy, or if they have aging parents, it's a great opportunity for them to give a gift of photography, something that keeps on giving after it's done. If people mention weight loss, life changes, or if they're making resolutions that are going to make a major change in their life, mentally, physically, spiritually, anyway. If you see that their profile picture is empty, maybe if they say that they're rebranding their business and are looking for a refresh, that's a great opportunity for me to be introduced to them. Or if they say that their headshot is so old, obviously, headshots I would typically suggest every 1 to 2 years, or if somebody does a drastic like hairstyle change or anything like that, I would definitely see to update those, because no one wants to go see somebody when on their photo they look like it was taken 10 years ago. Sometimes you might think, well, if they're letting that slide, if they don't think that that's a priority, like, are they too busy to deal with me or with any other business that I could send their way? So having an updated photo really shows people that you stay on top of your game. There are also ways I love collaborating with other businesses. I love creating those opportunities just to partner with a company and we can cross promote each other on social media, do giveaways, campaigns, co-host champagne parties or jewelry parties, massage parties, anything like that. That's usually a great connection for me. We can partner with vouchers, exchange top clients, do a client appreciation day. If somebody has like a place of business and they would like images in their place of business, I would love to work with them to create custom artwork for their walls. And then that would help cross promote, as anytime a customer would come in, they could see my work on the wall. So there's so many opportunities. I would love to connect with businesses. So if you know of anybody with that way, that would also be a great introduction. And there's my contact information. And I hope that I was able to give you some tips on how next time you're in front of the camera, you maybe aren't so hesitant to, jump in front of the camera and get that great shot, because you'll know how to pose and be confident. And yeah, so thank you for having me here today.
I don't have any questions, but I want to say great job. I mean, that was a great presentation. I learned a lot. it's interesting to me about the left side, maybe has more emotional expression. I'm going to test that theory and see if that really works. And also the chin forward and down. I mean, I have this double chin that I inherited from my mother and my grandma. So that was worth the price of admission. I appreciate that because I'm always trying to hide it. And I think what I do is I exacerbate it from putting my chin down too much. I like smile with your eyes, the tongue behind the teeth. Tell me more. I don't get that. I was trying to do that.
Yeah, so you just kind of put it up towards the roof of your mouth and then just put it behind your teeth a little bit. So when you're smiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the roof of the mouth sounds better. If I try to put it behind my teeth, that's where I was getting tripped up. But good job, Lori. Thanks.
Thank you.
I was trying the whole teeth thing while you were talking, and yeah, I have a big smile usually like this, but when I did your method, it was much more, within frame and not too wild.
Great. Thank you.
My world is kind of consumed with people that are job seeking in my field. So when you had the picture of like the LinkedIn without anybody's face, I was like, oh man, even if you just did a quick session with them online, like I could see that being a potential target market to job seekers, and maybe not, just hourly job seekers, but like professional job seekers, I think would gladly take you up on, even just a 30-minute session.
Thank you.
I just like to have those. The Greenwood Public Library is going to be doing on May the 15th a shred documents event. So put it on your calendar. The Greenwood Kiwanis Club is going to help sponsor that and have some snacks or something. It's right now the times they're talking about is from 9 to noon. If that changes, of course, obviously I'll make an announcement about it. But at this point, that's what the library is planning, and they're in charge, of all that and their times and so forth, and setting it up in the parking lot. That's all they're going to do. It's not going to be electronics. So if you have documents you wish to hide from the IRS that Jeanette wants you to hide from the IRS, bring them to the library and we'll help you shred them. If you want to get rid of old pictures that you now have learned from Lori that they are no good, you need to get rid of them, they're embarrassing, and have her redo them. We'll help you shred them. So put it on your calendar and kind of circle the date, March the 15th. And as I get more information, I'll kind of update you on that. And yeah, Kim, I'm probably going to be calling you for some water to help pass out for that on that Saturday. I'll have more information probably not this week, probably next week.
Of course, we'd be happy to help as long as it's in Johnson County. We're good to donate.
Well, it's in Johnson. It's right there in Johnson County at the Greenwood Library. And we'll yes, and we want Culligan water there. What next event? Did I say March 15th? I meant May 15th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I knew what he meant.
Well,
I knew what he meant, and I'm not a smart aleck like Ryan is.
Yeah. Well, but at least, I can put up with that. It's just that, that's one of the things we just don't want anymore. We got too many other electronics around. Scratch Time Machine off your list, Ryan.
He did say May 15th.
Did I say May? Anyway, but it is
No,
May
I think
15th.
he said March.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
Nope.
Maybe, who knows? May 15th.
It goes through my head because I have a client on May 1st, which is a Saturday. So I knew it was a Saturday.
It is a Saturday. And bring the kids. You can dump them off over at the park that's been redone down in downtown Greenwood and let them get lost out there.
Will you shred them too?
In my days when I used to teach, I would have loved to have had a shredder that would have been big enough to take care of some of those kids. Oh, yeah.
I'll hop in here, Ryan. If everybody put on your calendar, Open Indiana and the Keystone Business Connections, on May 6th from 2 to 3, there's a networking event, and the Alzheimer's Association is going to provide the programming. Don't worry, you're not going to have to hear about the longest day for that programming, but it's actually, we're going to do some really cool stuff. There'll be some stats, facts and figures of Alzheimer's. Even if you're not affected directly by it, to hear these statistics are very interesting. You don't realize how many people are affected by the disease. And then if she has some time, she might also do the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. So if you are with a mom or a neighbor and you're like, wow, she keeps doing this, is this just part of aging, or is this a sign of dementia or Alzheimer's? So put it on your calendar. Again, it's May 6th from 2 to 3 p.m. If you need that link, I'm sure Ryan sends it out, but if you need that link, let me know, and I'd be happy to get that information to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Other events or announcements? All right. Real quick, this Thursday, the 22nd of April at 11 o'clock a.m., we are doing a free workshop getting started with MailChimp. This is a 1-hour webinar where we're going to cover the basics of getting your MailChimp account set up, making sure that you have the right fields that you're collecting for your contacts, how to set up an email template, and how to set up a campaign, and some best practices for growing your email marketing list. So that's Thursday the 22nd at 11. Friday the 23rd here in Indy, we are doing our next Fourth Friday meetup from 4 to 6 at Books and Brew. That's 3808 Shelby Street. Let's see, looking ahead all the way to the 27th of May, our next workshop that we're going to do there at 11 o'clock a.m. is getting started with Microsoft Excel. So we're going to talk about some of the basics for how to use Microsoft Excel and some of the cool things you can do with it. Let's see, a couple of our upcoming speakers here next week. Sharita Niles will be our speaker to talk about an approach to effective relationship building when it comes to networking. And then the following week, what is that? May 3rd, I believe, Brittany Eisenman will be our speaker. And Brittany, I'll give you a moment if you'd like to kind of give a synopsis of your upcoming presentation.
I believe we talked about the generational impacts, right? Yes. Yeah. So I train in organizations, unemployee engagement, but a big piece of that is my interest in different generations and how our expectations about work are vastly shaped by our childhood experiences. And we can let that cause some barriers and communication problems between us, or we can show respect and compassion for each other and walk a little bit toward each other and our different expectations and work better together and have better communication on our teams. So I'll be giving you a little snippet of what that generational training looks like that I would give in an organization. And we'll even have some activities too.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. So don't miss that event in 2 weeks from today on this meeting. Before we wrap up today, are there any other events, announcements, last minute comments? All right. Well, we wrapped up a little early then today. So everyone have a safe, happy, and productive week. Don't forget to invite any other entrepreneurs you know to next week's meeting, and we'll see you then.